And I wanted to say thank you to Gowros, who's actually put together some stories for us to listen to the campfire as we end tonight. I know that Axel might have also a fact tale as well for us. You're also welcome to recount any good times
I don't
you've
have
had,
anything.
any stories that you'd like to tell about your time here. So, Yaros, if you don't mind taking the floor.
There we go.
Good evening, my fellow townsfolk. I hope every one of you are smiled upon by the ancestors tonight. I bring you a story, nay, a warning, pressed unto my crashmates and I. You see, my people have long been travelers and observers of our world, recording many of the histories and events that have faded beyond the collective unconscious. Not all of those records are of pleasant origin. There was once an adventurer that traveled lands very much like these own, chronicling the splendors of the flowing hills and untouched beauty of forests unknown to humans or any others. He longed to share these tales with his people, but alas, he was all alone, having undertaken the journey by himself. The traveler knew he was alone. Even then, he felt a connection with the very land, a dark feeling resonating within his horns, a whisper, a soft hum, a voice just beyond the edge of his hearing. One night, several months after his arrival, a dark specter visited his tent. There, within the entryway, it hung like nothing he could see. Petrified with fear, he was unable to utter even a word. The cloaked figure spoke in hushed tones, its words echoing within his mind. He too wished for companionship in these lonely lands, but none had ever stayed as long as he. It begged for him to stay, to tell stories of his travels, his people, his dreams. It laid a hand upon his face, holding it as the being whispered to him, a slight chill flowing from the shaded digits and into his cheek. When finally a sense of agency returned to the man, he reached out to lift the penumbral veil of the being, to see its face. As he removed the covering, he began to witness a deep and unending void, seeming to suck in the light and the heat from his tent. Everything faded from his vision as he gazed ever inward this abyssal portal. Then it caught his eye, a speck of light within the darkness. Like eventide upon the precipice of a cold wintry night, he struggled to see what had grabbed his attention. It was till he could finally make out what it was. There before him was a mirrored image of his very own face, with a sick grin and sunken eyes the color of tar pitch. In his writings, he says he remembered feeling like it had been studying him, mimicking his movements. When he screamed from what he had seen, the adventurer remembered waking up upon the shores of Veltier, without any idea as to how he had arrived home. Days after his return, he was said to have left the town he was in during the dead of night, never to have been seen again. Those were the last records of the man known as Morsir the Shade-Kissed, but the eldest amongst us swear he made a vow to return to those primeval lands, to find a way back to his only companion. Some say he still wanders the forests of the world, taking the forms of others, unseen by their eyes but witnessed by others, all to have the chance of meeting the Shade once more.
That was so good. Stars. Thank you so much.
Great job.
That was amazing.
Great story.
That was really cool. I liked it.
Thank you.
Thunder and lightning and just the silence of like people eating as their listeners as well really set the atmosphere. Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Thank you very much for that. is... oh, you sneaking up already?
I was just moving.
Oh, yeah.
My scales were getting a bit too
Axel,
warm.
Are you wanting to tell a story, or are your notes not prepared today?
I'll try.
You'll try. Okay. Before we begin, does anyone need to eat?
Yes.
Me.
Yeah, let's get some food real quick. If you want a piece of food, can you just to the side here?
Oh god, I'm so fucking nervous.
Thank you.
No, I was just keeping a lookout.
Axel, you want some spooky music?
That'll work.
Thank you.
Do you want music for your story?
Sure.
Would you like to tell a story, did you say?
Who?
Esteban, Axel. What did...
No, I thought Axel was telling a story. I'm
Yeah,
not
Axel
sure.
will tell a story, yeah.
Okay. There once was a woman who lived on a hill. She seemed normal, and to a lot of the people, they didn't really know why she lived out there. One day, a man decided to come in from the town. He went to go look to see what she was like. She was very pretty. She did a lot of things that would make this man very happy. They ended up getting together, but there was something that was very off about the woman. She would wear very pretty clothes and, very stylish things, but she would always wear a ribbon around her neck. A yellow ribbon. The yellow ribbon would never come off, even when things were going on behind closed doors. But one day the man got curious. Does she even wash it? He would look at her and see her walking around with different clothes every day, but the ribbon would stay the same. One day, he decided to get curious and try to pick at it, but she would say, no, don't do that. As a prank, he thought, maybe if I take this ribbon, it'll be something that's really funny. One day, he took the ribbon, and she began to shrivel up and turn into an old woman. And then she turned into dust.
That's what you get for not setting boundaries. For not obeying boundaries.
When men just do men things.
Who was the ribbon?
What was the ribbon?
That was
Ribbon-
John Ribbon, known for his famous role as Ribbon.
The ribbon itself was a
John
life
Ribbon
giver.
died?
Oh, I see.
I thought her neck was gonna come off.
I was like waiting for the head to roll, yeah.
No.
Thank you very much for the
She was
story.
really old.